Guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to show the people that are interested how to write academic CV for Portugal admissions for masters. If you are coming from Nigeria or any other English African country or stuff. Now, my name is Annie, and I run a community where I share tips on how to move to Portugal. And I have been doing this for over a year now. And also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. I have more tips coming. Now, today I'm going to talk about how to write your academic CV. This is a recommendation, and this link is on my website, and you can go there to use it and use the template, but please don't copy and paste. Change it up a bit to suit your own course or your own goals and dreams. I also have a podcast on the website, pinned on the website, this one, where you can listen to some of the old things that I said last year, which still works for this year. Now, this CV, I know about 20 people or 50 people that used it last year, and it really worked for them. But you don't have to use it to get an admission. And remember that I said that this is a general advice, it's not the only determining factor for your admission. And this is because I've seen so many CVs that we're not just cutting it. And in Portuguese admissions, sometimes there are courses that only use the CV to grade you. Like majority of the grades is based on your CV, and you want to put your best leg forward. So this one you can listen by clicking on play, and
It can start now.
yes, so it's a previous program that I did. So you can always listen to that on Spotify. And so the first thing we're going to look at is I'm going to say, ask yourself, what is the purpose of your academic CV? So your CV is to show your education and academic background because it's an academic CV, and it should highlight maybe research, publications, academic project, relevant work experience. And people say that they have not published, but you wrote a thesis, a final year project that you submitted to a Senate building. It was published, that is a publication. And you wrote, some of you have written courseworks, some of you have written papers with your friend. There are assignments that you wrote. Those are not published publication, like it's not in the public academic public space, but you've written these topics, and these are like your personal projects, so you can always add them. It has to be like 1 to 2 pages. It is clear, structured, and tailored to fit the program's focus. So if you, for example, you're applying to like 3 programs and they're not the same programs, you should not use the same CV. You should not use the same CV because there are so many intricacies, or like you see so many course plan. You look at the course plan and you try to see if it's going to align with something that you've done before that you could add on your CV to help you. So there's no ideal structure. Some people say they've used Europass, and some people say they didn't use Europass. It doesn't matter. You just need to have some basic things. For example, you start with your full name, your email address. Nobody cares about your country or your full address. Please don't put your full home address. And you can put your LinkedIn if your LinkedIn has been focused on the academia. For example, if you're going for a PhD, and you can, if you have an academic portfolio, for example, if you're an architect or maybe you're a civil engineer or any other course that has a portfolio, you can put a link in there. Then you look at your education. So I usually advise that you write it in chronological order. Like for example, BSc in Mechanical Engineering, University of Ibadan, Nigeria, when you graduated, and you could put your CGPA if it's really good. So like when they open your CV, they already know what you have. Make sure it's the same with what is on your transcript. And if you had an award, for example, the best graduating student, Department of Engineering, please do write that, or the best student representative, you can add that just to spice it up a bit, but it's not compulsory. Now, the second one will be your research interest. So you are looking at like 2 to 3 bullet points outlining your current academic interest, which should align with the course plan or what that course or program is all about. So, for example, I put examples of things that you could write if you're in humanities, social sciences, for STEM, for interdisciplinary and global studies. So please make sure that whatever you're writing is tuned or is related to the program you want to study or what you've done before. Now, the fourth point is research and academic project. This is where you add your final year 400 level or 300 level project that you've done. And some of you have done more projects. For example, the people that have HND, they probably did a project during their internship, during the IT. So you could add that. Try to remember all the projects you did, especially if you're like in STEM or in the maybe applied social sciences or somewhere you did a project during your IT. You could add that to it to spice it up. And it's not only like undergraduate thesis that you can add. If you've done like capstone projects, maybe you've had to work somewhere outside the school, you can add that. Also, if you're an independent researcher, maybe is even a preprint. Maybe you haven't even, you just put it on academia.com.edu and you have not even really found a peer review or something. You could add that to your CV, yes, and you can follow this template. If you are a natural scientist, like you study chemistry, physics, biology, microbiology, zoology, botany, veterinary science, all those courses, most of them are lab-based projects. Try to think about all the lab project that you did. You probably did something. Try to think deeply about what you did. You could call your classmate, you could try to remember, or you check your transcript to see if there was a lab work which could joggle your memory, and you can add it to your projects. Number 5 is publications or presentations. This is optional, but it's powerful. Like if you had any publication, for example, during my application, I added a publication that I had made out of my master's thesis. So I published it and I got a DOI for it. So I added that to my presentation. And it could be like presented papers that you've done in in a conference. Maybe it's not even published, but you've presented a paper before in a conference. You can add that to it. Now, professional experience. Uh, this is where you list like the work you've done. Please don't add I was a hairdresser. Please don't add that. I beg you. Please don't do that. It has to maybe focus on real professional work. Make sure you, when you are filling in the roles, make sure you look at what can I write to that is related to the program I'm applying for. So for example, if you're applying for a banking program, list the things that you really did in the bank that is probably related to what they taught in the bachelor's program of that course or what they're going to teach in the master's program of that course. That is what you should list in there, okay? And you should add your skills, maybe your languages, your technical skills. For example, if you want to study data science or all these computer related courses, if you're in the humanities and social sciences, you should add research tools and other things like that, especially research tools. You could definitely add the Zotero, Mendeley, and stuff like that. Then, if you had honors and awards and scholarships in school, please don't forget to add that. If you don't have that, it's also okay. Also, it could be a community award if it's related to your, if it's related to what you want to study. You can add extracurricular activities related to leadership, initiatives, and relevance to your academic path. And you could add references if they have agreed to reference you. So if it's somebody that could be reached out to, you should add it. But if it's somebody that will not reply email, a professor that will not reply email, please don't add it. Don't shoot yourself in the leg, because whatever you add to a Portuguese school application, they're taking it seriously. And below this, I have a template. You can click on the picture, it moves around, so you can see how I designed this one. So you can type it. You can use Word document to type, and you save it in PDF. And you can also try to use other methods. If you want to read this, I'll put the link in the description, and you can always find it there. You can leave me a comment. You can leave a comment, leave a reply at the bottom of the screen if you have any questions, and I'll be sure to check. You can also put a comment on under the YouTube post. Have a wonderful day. Bye.